Up for grabs in the next free giveaway is the new version 2 White Scratch logo Big Eagle Attitude Era replica belt. To gain entry into the draw, all you've got to do is make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, like the video in the pinned comment section below, and comment on that video with your favourite WWF pay-per-view of all time to feature the Big Eagle belt that was not WrestleMania 17. All that gains you 1 entry into the draw. Alternatively, you can become a YouTube member. That will gain you 5 entries. Or you can become a Patreon member over at patreon.com/HazardF5, with each tier gaining you multiple entries. So if you're a $2 entry level patron, you get 2 entries into the draw, so on and so forth. Again, all this is possible due to my partnership with WWE and Euroshop, which came about with my viewership and people using my affiliate links. So please continue to use my affiliate links when purchasing from both WWE Shop and Euroshop, and feel free to use promo code HAZARD15 to gain 15% off of your order with selected items. The giveaway draw will take place live on YouTube the night after Crown Jewel 2025. Good luck to everyone. What's up, YouTubers? This is HazardF5 back with a brand new video, and it's a new belt day, and a very special one at that. The championship we're going to take a look at today is amongst the most loved designs in all of professional wrestling history. I would argue the only one that rivals it for popularity is probably the big gold belt. However, when it comes to the WWE, this is unquestionably the most loved design in all of WWE history. The original version of this belt debuted in February of 1988 and lasted on television for over a decade, being retired the night after WrestleMania 14 in 1998. And being on television for that long, and it still being as loved as it is quite a thing, as wrestling fans, more specifically modern day wrestling fans, tend to get tired of designs a lot quicker and sour on them a lot sooner. Now, the original championship belt was made by Reggie Parks. The one we're going to take a look at today was produced by Dave Millican. Now, Dave Millican, for anyone unaware, was the apprentice of Reggie Parks and took over belt making for a period of time while working also alongside Reggie producing belts. However, Dave Millican hasn't actually produced many collector's belts that have actually been paid for in quite some time. In fact, we unfortunately lost Reggie Parks a few years ago, and in the last year of Reggie's life, there were still collectors who were actually getting products from Reggie Parks. And to my knowledge, I can't say the same about Dave Millican, as I have dozens of friends and people who I know through the belt community who have belts on order from Dave, including myself, who have yet to see them. So rest assured, you will not be getting a belt from Dave Millican. Do not contact him. He did recently relaunch his website, or launch a new website. Do not contact him through there, due to the fact that he has so many outstanding orders. Your only chance, unfortunately, these days to get a Reggie Parks or a Dave Millican belt is through the second-hand market, which is where I acquired this by the likes of belttalk.com, Facebook page, etc. Now, the championship we're going to take a look at today is the all gold variation of this championship. I have previously posted a dual-plated variation of this design, and while personally I think the dual-plated version looks better, I always had an infatuation or a love for the all gold variation, because when I was first watching the WWF, it was the all gold version of this championship that was on television. So today we're going to take a look at an alternative logoed version of a Dave Millican made all gold WWF Winged Eagle Championship belt. So let's go take a look. And here we have a Dave Millican made alternative logo WWF Winged Eagle Championship belt. Obviously, this is the all gold variation. This one's unique in that, although it's an alter logoed belt, it doesn't feature a logo on the main plate, but does feature the Wonder Woman style FWF logos on the sides, along with on the logo plate. Now, this belt is on the older side. This is between, I'd say, 15 to maybe 20 years old. There's a couple of tells, one of them being that the Dave Millican stamp that's used is one that Dave stopped using quite a long time ago. Like if you have a look at my Oval IC video, it features Dave's modern stamp, and that one was produced in the mid-2010s. So you've got the 3 spikes at the top of the main plate, along with the sunburst streaks going from the base. You've got the details on the wings, with the wings sticking out up past the plate. Then you've got the sunburst streaks meeting the curved sidebars. And here you've got some examples of the differences between the logoed artwork and the non-logoed artwork. So you see here there's an outline where the wing tips cut into the sunburst pattern. On the WWF variation, the Ring U style one, there was no solid line there. The grappler's art has also been slightly tweaked. Here you've got the floral with the maple leaf, a nod to Reggie Parks' Canadian heritage. And you can see here how clean the etch is, because it doesn't come off at an angle compared to more modern belts. So it's mostly a straight etch line down. There's no sort of 45-degree slope on it, although the etching isn't quite as deep as a result. You've got the deep blue globe, along with the eagle's head and the painted heavyweight banner. This one features the world banner that's etched onto the plate, so there's no relief piece here, which, and I've said this in the past, I always found it really weird that the world banner was a relief piece on this belt. It didn't add anything to it, in my opinion. So there again, you've got the grapplers along with the sunburst pattern. Then you've got the featherwork underneath the eagle, along with the detailings on its body. And then down here you've got the wrestling champion plate, excuse me, banner. You'll have to excuse me guys, I'm still recovering from the flu. So you got the stars scattered around the line work. You'll notice that on this particular artwork, Reggie's replica insignia isn't shared on the main plate. It depends on what art files used to make each belt, whether it's there or not. There are some variations even where it's actually etched into the sunburst pattern there. And of course you've got the iconic sidebars, which are welded onto the plate, not just screwed. So you've got the curved exterior bar along with the 3 bars behind it, with the central bar being slightly longer. Same on the other side. And this one, in my opinion, is perfectly curved in that it does have a curve on the belt, but it's not a gigantic curve. Again, a bit like the Big Eagle, you curve this thing too much, it kind of looks weird. Now let's move on to the side plates. So you've got the alternate WWF logo here, with the sunburst patterns at the top and at the bottom. You've got the grapplers in the center with the detailing on the boots and the trunks. You've also got a swell pattern each side. Now, like I said, this belt is nearly 20 years old, so it has sustained some wear and tear. So I think at some point it was shipped incorrectly, because you can see there, essentially the sidebar's been folded in and caught it on the belt on each side. Not a massive thing unless you are looking for it. But that's why it's important to wrap up the belts properly when you're posting them or shipping them, or even displaying them, really. Then on the outside plate, again, you've got a set of grapplers, this time in a clothesline / STO position. You can see a little bit of the plating there, just up here. Again, something that will come with much older belts. You've then got the World Champion logo plate. Of course, in the original ring used version, it just had the logo and the word champion, not World Champion, underneath. The font has also been altered. And a rather unique tooling style for this one, because it goes around and then it sort of kicks upwards and outwards on each side. Then you got this side plate identical to the one on the other side. On this particular one, the grapplers are flipped, so each one's facing outwards, whereas the inner grapplers remain the same. Again, a little bit of plating wear. Something like this, it would be worthwhile investing a few hundred to get it replated, but done properly potentially. It also comes with the Reggie Parks one-piece tip, with the P insignia on the back. And again, you've got the standard thickness. A wonderful, wonderful piece. Now let's take a look at the leatherwork. So this is one of Dave Millican's copies from a long time ago. Obviously, Dave hasn't been producing belts for collectors in a long time now. I couldn't even note to you what year was the last time he delivered on a belt for a collector that was ordered from the Winged Eagle or IC series, logoed or not logoed. So you've got the camouflage shell tooling going around the outside. The more popular leather cut with the wingtips coming ever so slightly away from the strap, with the bars sort of being in line with the strap. You've got the beveled areas in between the plates and the snap sections. You've got your traditional Midwest style tooling in the snap sections with the alternate logo stamped in. I was always a fan of having the logo in the snap box sort of camouflaged in. There you got the old Millican style stamp. On the other side, very similar. So I mentioned earlier the tooling around the logo plate. And then again, you've got the logo hiding amongst the snapbox tooling, with the tooling for the tip as well. Now, this is, like I said, an older belt. So it has had some wear and tear on it. You've got plain black leather backing here. The leather is quite thick, but because of the weight of the plates, you do still have a decent level of flexibility. I'm not going to abashedly throw this around like I might do some of my other ones, because it is an old girl. So I'm going to be a bit more gentle with this one than I might be with some of my newer stuff. But a lovely, lovely piece indeed. And there you have it, guys. The Dave Millican made all gold alternative logo WWF Winged Eagle Championship. Like I said at the beginning of the review, while I do think the dual-plated Winged Eagle aesthetically does look better, I always was fond of the all-gold variation. I managed to pick this up at a very reasonable price considering the current market for both Dave Millican and Reggie Parks made belts, considering you can't obtain them anymore. So a really, really lovely piece. The detailing and the etching, the quality of the strap, considering its age. Bear in mind that this belt is nearly 20 years old, based on the stamp and stuff, is really, really something. And the fact that it has the tooling on around the logo plate, which wasn't always a given, along with the tooling in the snap boxes, really, really nice. There you can see how the central bolts on the Winged Eagle allow the bars to poke out the sides, just like it did on television. Overall, a lovely, lovely piece. Now, would I love to own a WWF logoed variation of this particular belt made by a Dave Millican or Reggie Parks? Absolutely. They are hard to come by. It might be something that I do look at down the road when acquiring future purchases. But for now, let me know in the comments what you think of the belt and which did you prefer? Were you an all gold person or were you a fan of the original dual plated Winged Eagle variety? Let me know in the comments and I'll catch you as always next time.